what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So I'm going to be going over gold, GJ, NAS, SPX, and US30. So if we look at gold on the weekly time frame, because obviously it is a brand new week, what we have here is very interesting. So over the last few weeks, we have seen gold continuously fail to close under 1644 support. And realistically, at this level, we can see a bounce or a break through this area. But realistically, what we would actually have to wait for is that confirmation on the lower time frames. So at this point in time, just basing it off of the weekly time frame, this is a major area of support that we are currently trading at, which we could potentially see possible buy opportunities from this 1644 area. Last daily candlestick had already rejected the 1644 area of support, and we could definitely see a bounce from this area. Just something to keep in mind when trading gold at this area, because if we look at the daily time frame, it could scream bearish, but at the same time we're still trading above 1644 support. Breaking it down to a lower time frame, we now have this type of variation pattern here where we have a lot of rejection to the downside and a very weak bullish engulfing candlestick. At this point in time, we could see price bounce back up back into the 1660 range. Obviously, if price starts to break under the lows of, call it 1638, we can easily see a continued move down into 1622. But as of right now, price is trading at support, so we could see a rejection from this area of support, and we could possibly see price continue to go bullish back up into 1660, as long as price can kind of maintain above this 1644 area of support. Once we start to get a break under these lows here, being 1639, is when we may actually see a continue to move down back into the 1622 range. Now with GJ has been a little bit trickier to actually trade, but what we spoke about in the previous webinar is we could possibly see GJ continue to actually go to this negative 27 extension level that we could set on the daily time frame here from this point to this point, which is going to be roughly a 172.869 area, let's call it, is where we can expect GJ to continue to go to. Now, what you can actually look for to possibly take advantage of a continued move up into 173, let's call it, realistically, I would like to see GJ go to 172 first. But I would like to see a pullback back down into like this 170.85 area, possibly even 170.500, where if price can hold as support, then we can expect GJ to go back up into 172, 172.500. So realistically, like basing it off of like this 4-hour time frame area, the zone to actually start looking to buy GJ again would be this area right here, this entire range. Anywhere between 170.500 and 170 is where I would like to look to stack on a long position, to then look to target 171.500, then possibly 172 flat. That's what I would be expecting with GJ. Now the NASDAQ market compared to US30 and the SP 500 is very interesting. So if we go to the weekly time frame, what I had said previously is that the weekly time frame is still overall in a very bearish condition. Ultimately, we do have a few key levels based off the daily time frame, but as of right now, we could definitely see a pullback here on the NASDAQ, possibly up into this 12,000 range where we have previous resistance. We also have this 21 moving average. Keep in mind, since price is trading under the 21 daily moving average on the weekly time frame, overall volume is still bearish. We definitely can see price continue to go bullish. Don't forget that. We can definitely see price continue to go bullish. If we look at the daily time frame, we have an inverted head and shoulders pattern, and we also have a shift in structure here, where initially price was making lower highs, lower lows, so then making a high, higher low. Now we're at a high again. Now, ultimately, we are still trading back above this area of support right here, but we are trading under the lows. So this is kind of one of those tricky areas. But right now, if we look at the 4-hour time frame, we stay on this 4-hour time frame. You know, price so far is trading at trading under resistance. So if price can continue to maintain under this resistance level, we can look to sell it. Once price starts to break this resistance level, then it's very simple. Look for price to overall go back into this, call it 11,750 range to about 12,000. Realistically, is where we could see the NASDAQ pump all the way up to. Now the S&P 500, which is basically the leader of the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, is currently trending bullish. we have a nice break and retest of this previous high here, and this is on the daily time frame. But now the S&P 500 is actually pulled back into this area of previous support, which actually we can mark it off roughly around here, right? You guys can easily identify that there's support in this range here, resistance here, support here, and now price is trading at this area, and this area currently is holding as resistance. So we could look for the S&P 500 to kind of roll over here, but realistically, like, volume right now, and not even just volume, market structure is very bullish. We look at market structure on the 4-hour time frame, we have a high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We're currently trading at a higher high, or like I said previously, we are now trading at a previous area of resistance. So again, you guys have to remember, we don't buy at resistance, we buy at support. Then you can ask yourself, okay, well, where is the nearest area of newfound support that we could look out for? Realistically, it would be our previous area of structure, being this kind of entire range right here. This would be our previous area of resistance, where if price were to pull back down into this area, we can then look for price to kind of come back up into this area of support or previous resistance here, which is 39.13, let's call it. But I would like to see a retest and for price to hold this area before looking to buy it back up into 3,900 flat. Then we have US 30 that's just continuing to make new highs. And again, guys, the concepts stay the same. We're not looking to buy right now because we need to wait for price to actually pull back. And that pullback has to be to an area of support, which we can look at price kind of like along this range right here. Let's call it 32,418, which is support here and resistance here. So this could be a nice area to look to take a position from. Most definitely, you know, you can kind of adjust this to however you would like. But overall, the US 30, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ have pretty much just been going bullish over the last few days. Very, very big pullback. You know what I mean? This is a very, very big move. You have to understand, like, over the last few weeks, you know, we've seen price continuously go bearish and bearish. Literally from the highs since August 22nd, we've seen price go all the way down into 28,650 from 34,000. Right, and now we're back into the 33,000 range. So we're gonna have to wait and see kind of how this market decides to continue to play out. You know, some things to keep in mind is that there is resistance throughout this range right here on the weekly time frame. This is previous support, and it could potentially hold as resistance where we may see a big pullback. But as of right now, things are very bullish here on this daily time frame, on the 4-hour time frame as well. So I wouldn't really be too hopeful on looking to take shorts anytime soon. I would just kind of try and look for price to continue to go bullish as long as it can maintain above this 21 SMA. Once we start trading under the 21 SMA, then you could start to sell again. Those are just kind of like key things to keep in mind. Again, you know, we have resistance all throughout this range right here as well, so that's something that we can actually mark off based off this 4-hour time frame, is that we have resistance kind of around here, 32,900. So we could look for price to bounce between this range here. Obviously, if price breaks above 33,000, then we can expect price to easily go up to 33,325. Anyways, just wanted to give you guys a quick Sunday breakdown, and I will talk to everybody in the next video.